Okay, there's me. Let's see if I can now actually get y'all. Let's see. Y'all should be those speakers. Haha, there, look. Now we can talk. La 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 la. So here we are. Now suddenly having the wonderful and amazingness of actual trying to have audio. Yo, hey, Almond Darker. Hey, all the folks out there. Welcome back to The Vice. We've been gone for a while doing things and stuff and things because summer schedules and hurricanes and Gen Cons and all the insanity that is stuff. In fact, we're still missing a bird, but he will be back with us soon. He's off having fun, listening to music, drinking beers, and having a great time. But in the meantime, welcome to The Vice. We are a 5e D&D campaign. We've been running now we are coming up. Y'all realize we are coming up on our 3-year anniversary? Kind of scary. This is episode 111 of our story. And before we dive into it and do all that, let's talk a little bit about the station. One thing, we do run our channel 100% for charity. You're able to donate to affect the game and the gameplay and the ways listed down below. We just did a donation for over the summer, which was to Outright International. And now we are back to our one of our near and dear charities that we love to support, which is Mental Health America and their Before Stage 4 sort of hashtag initiative, which is to treat mental illness as we treat so many physical illnesses, which is catch it while it's early, catch it before it becomes a crisis. And so go check out their site. You can click on it down below and they'll take you there. There's lots of free resources there. You do have to give them an email, but I mean, as far as spam goes, I think I've only gotten maybe 3 times a year they send out something asking for donations. So it's nothing crazy. Or if they put up a new resource that people can use, which is kind of great. There's incredible links there to your own mental wellness, to your family's mental wellness. And it is worth checking out. If you're able to donate, that's great. If not, sit back, retweet out our tweets and all that type of stuff. Hey, New Titans, how you doing? And just sit back and enjoy the story. Speaking of our story, let's talk to our players. They have been with us for coming up on 3 years, except for one who came in late, had to come in fashionably late. So, without further ado, dragons or cats, I guess. Introduce yourself.
Hello, everyone. I am Dragons or Cats. It's wonderful to see you all again. I'm going to be playing and speaking correctly as Vidal Lacrim, the Hexblade Warlock of the Forged Eclipse Lysithia. And let's get this bread.
Woo! Next up, we have Templar Warden.
Hello, I am Templar Warden. I will be playing Hidden by Axel, the Tabaxi wizard, who really loves experimenting on magic and discovering new things, and has a couple of really concerning goals in his life. This is fine.
Such bad ideas. Such bad ideas.
Love it. The problem is he has all the bad ideas, but he knows that they are bad ideas. But it doesn't always stop.
Will it stop him? Speaking of stopping people, we have it in G9.
Rude.
I was thinking of Luna. Luna is all about keeping this party on track.
Offended. You see that as? Offended. Yes, I am in G9. I play Luna, our Water Genasi monk. This is Suzette, our new Moonglow Boa Constrictor. She is small, but she is fierce. And by fierce, I mean she likes crawling on my head. And Luna's totally, you know what? Important lesson from Take Two. If anybody ever says architecture isn't worth it, they're wrong. You never know when you need to know the exact layout of the building. Also,
cartography and being able to plot out things. Turns out it's going to be pretty important for us pretty soon. Next
fire
up,
exits.
Yeah, fire exits. Know where your exits are. And next up, we have Good Guy Pie. I flew a lot in my day.
I am Good Guy Pie, everyone. How are you all doing? And I will be playing Luck Goldheart, Adventure Extraordinaire, all the way from Elevation Pit. And we do things. That's our catchphrase now.
I was going to say, you can get with Knob about that since he makes that. He makes stuff. And last but not least, our Roguety Rogue, Tree Hugging Druid.
Hello, I'm Dragon Druid. I play Slayer Rollerin, our high elf rogue. She's a rogue. She does roguey things.
And did some roguiness last episode, which we will see.
I mean, she tried. She failed, but she tried.
I was going to say you danced around that guard pretty well, even though you were in that zone of truth. I will say that I was impressed. It's like, unfortunately, I'm not as smart as the guard apparently was, so I was having trouble keeping up. But with that, before we get into a recap of what all has been happening, we're going to run that intro with incredible music by our friend Colm McGinnis. So we will be back in just a second. Hello, get all the folks back here and chatting. So, well, gosh, I'm so happy that we got that intro. Sorry, I haven't watched it in a while. It's been so long. Anyway, last time on the Vice, or the last couple times on the Vice, the party has been back in Sojourn's Crossing, where they sort of began their adventures. They have hooked up with some of their old friends. They have discovered new and different things that are happening, sort of some more of the plots that have been going on while they have been off adventuring pretty much all across the continent, and now have found themselves back here in Sojourn's Crossing, knowing that in just a couple days they need to start heading out down to the south towards the Convergence Conclave, a event that they have actually known about almost since the very beginning of their journeys, as our bard, Iska, actually ended up with an invitation to perform at the conclave so many months ago, years ago for us players. But the Short Whiskers caravan that they rode in on will be leaving in just a couple days. But in the meantime, They are wanting to help out actually an old adversary, but someone who in the past held some of the secrets to the inner workings of the Arcana Mystica and the Netherwings that have plagued this world. Florian Gilderloin, a member of the Arcana Mystica, but as they found out later in their travels, actually is the only man to have killed a Netherwing up to this point that they are aware of. And he has been attacked by assassins, lies in a comatose state, and has not been seen from in about a week. Using the bond that Iska has with Florian and Balshirian, his griffin mount with whom he is bonded to as well, they've hatched a plan. Axel has been working diligently in order to craft a rune that, using the different aspects of several of his different dragon runes, attempt to breach their way into Florian's mind to hopefully free him from this state that he currently lies in. How he got there is actually Axel as well, experimenting with the Mirror of Secrets, a artifact of his order, so to speak, that he broke doing a divination deep into the future. And when it was broken, it released the secrets that it held, mainly that the Archmistress of the Arcana Mystica now knows that she no longer possesses the anchor, and that Florian and others that the party helped back in our early adventures betrayed her and apparently sent out these assassins. Meanwhile, Luna hooked up with an old friend from the monastery who built some great doors. A character that came out of a whole lot of failed checks to sneak through doors. He turns out that he was the architect for the Cathedral of Purity, a renovated structure that used to be within the old College of the Bards down in Highmount. And through her words and deeds, convinced him as penance to their common deity, Saint Cuthbert, to share with her what he knew, so that she's been diligently drafting away, actually, to the best of her abilities, the floor plans of this cathedral that they need to go to in order to rescue, seemingly, Celia's sister, and also Lily, who is a little girl that they heard about along their adventures, and who has the daughter of someone who Luna has found herself quite close to, Dustin.
Yeah, what? No, there's nothing awkward. Shut up.
Nothing awkward. So, with that, we will turn over to the party after having a long rest, finishing your tea up at Terrence's Tea Terrace, and spending quite some time mending things back together after Celia fell out of a rift and landed in the middle of the table. You all returned back to the Cloak and Fireball, found your way to your rooms, and unless there's something specific that you would like to do before turning in for a long rest, we will move to the next morning, where quickly becomes the time to attempt this spell, and whichever way y'all would like to do so. So, as you often do, we can be gathered downstairs at the Cloak and Fireball, around your normal table, the normal suspects around down there. A little bit of music being played from the corner, Agatha flitting around the alehouse Drake, making her rounds around the place, and you guys have the table to yourself.
So, from the bottom, explain how this spell is going to work.
You shouldn't interrupt people when they're eating.
I'm sorry, I didn't realize.
Yeah, I had to make sure I got my energy up. So,
Bacon.
from the bottom, going up, we're starting with a window into the link between Iska, Balshurian, and of course through that into already forgot his name. Florian. It's a Florian, and so we got to have I've got to sort of open out a magical window through which Iska can look through, and then I'm going to combine that with a method of precision access. So you put like a little needle where you need to go, and then she can access in the Florian's mind where she needs to. I don't know exactly how it's going to work. But that's it. There's a window so she can see where she's going. She can direct it, or I can direct it. It's something like that. And then she is going to be in a magical circle that will allow her to project through or work through through this window and enter in, at least if she needs to. Maybe she just needs to reach through, because entering in properly might be a bit more dangerous. Then, of course, there's many safety mechanisms set up in order just to sort of grounding mechanisms, so that you know, so if you're struck by lightning or the ground sort of thing, as opposed to, well, you know, a lightning tower thing. So it doesn't hit something more important; it will hit something else at the ground. So that's basic method. I mean, there's a lot of little things to it, you know, blood magic, you know, vision, insight, dragon runes. Well, yeah.
It sounds incredibly unstable and dangerous.
Well, considering that this has got components of a spell I'm reasonably familiar with at this point, magical circle again with all the safety mechanisms, and those 3 runes that I'm using, I'm quite, well, at least I'm got a decent look into those, so it shouldn't be dangerous.
Well, gonna have to trust you on this one.
Yeah. I mean, again, if you want, I have all the notes here, and you can look over them. I know that you're not really into the magic sort of stuff, but of course, you could maybe, you know, look over them with somebody else. Agatha, maybe.
I'm gonna take your word for it.
I mean, does anyone else have a problem with this sort of process? And of course, Lyle's going to be there as a focus to sort of help with that. Actually, Iska, you're opening Iska for a bit?
Mm-hmm.
I don't. This might be weird. I'm going to be going to be using my blood to help stabilize the runes and the circle. I know it's kind of a weird thing, and if you could contribute to that, it might help. But of course, it wouldn't. It's not intended to. It can work without it.
Iska looks at you and puts her hand on top of yours and goes, "I trust you. If this will make it safer, then of course.
Yeah.
Can't be worse than the first time we met Sithrax, right? Right?
No, it can't be worse than that. Although, yeah.
Jumping into Florian's mind it sounds like a punishment of its own.
I mean, hopefully it doesn't need to come to that. All these set up so we don't have to go straight in there and cause problems. It's so that we can be very precise and you know, surgical. But yeah, I'm not gonna like it. It's a drop. It's gonna be mixed in with the ink for the rune circle, and then that's it. But everything's set up. Had a couple of eureka moments. So everything's pretty much set up. Although, could I borrow some silver dust? Ground silver? I don't. I mean, you paid for it and everything. Vidar, I think got silver dust, didn't you?
Yeah,
yeah, if we could make some in there.
To do so to go, so and pulls out a little pouch and goes, yeah, that's at least what I'd need for a magic circle. So I've got 2 more of those left.
Okay, if I could, a full magical circle's components would probably help a lot.
Of course, I can set the circle up for you if you need be as well.
No, well, can we work on that together? Because it's got. Axel shows like a design that's very different to the typical one.
No.
But yeah, it's all good. It's all done. It's all ready. Just needs to be set up, and of course, Belshurian needs to be on board with this as well. Willing component.
Speaking of willing components, Celia, do you still have my coin pouch?
I do.
So does that mean you're getting breakfast, but at the same time I'm getting breakfast?
If you're asking if I'm paying for your breakfast with your gold, yes.
You lose every time.
Lose every time, I know. I can't wait to see that animated tree. I can't wait to see that tree again. It's going to save our lives one day, friend. Trust me. Luna, don't shake your head.
I think the only time that tree is going to save our lives is when he, and she points to Luck, throws it at somebody.
It's kind of cool.
I do kind of want to see that happen. To be fair. Luck, if you can lift that by yourself, I will give you this sphere.
Deal.
Famous last
I can't
words.
use it, but deal.
There we go. Cool.
Noted. Let me just type that into my notes.
Considering I am on the same level of strength as a stone giant.
Would you say the idea is growing on you?
Oh.
Willing to branch out? Is that what we're doing?
And we're done here. Let me just
Moving on swiftly.
Alone? Is that what you want?
the gas stove in the kitchen explodes. Everyone dies.
I use my legendary resistance to succeed.
Out. What? I live here.
Iska kind of, I guess we need to go talk to Valshirian next, right? Okay.
Yep. Grab him, bring him along, saddle him up, get him as proud and as decorated as possible.
Well, I figure we need someplace where we're not going to be disturbed. So, can we cast this in his barn, in his stall?
We'll need to clear out some space so that, of course, because ink doesn't stick on hay. But we can clear out space on the floor. There should be space in. How big is the?
Oh, it's big. I mean, it's for Balshirian, and he has room to walk around and lay down.
Oh, then it's absolutely fine. Yeah.
Yeah. So, Iska kind of finishes up her tea, kind of looking nervous but resolute.
Do you want any of us to come with you for discussion, or are we just going to discuss and start straight away?
I figure we all go, right? Or whoever's going to be there for casting this spell.
All right.
I mean,
Okay, well, I'm going, of course. Right Eye is helping. Vidar is helping. I would like if Luck was there, but doesn't need to be.
I'll be there.
Right.
Worst case scenario.
so Luna, Celia, y'all.
If anything does go amiss, I'd definitely like to have someone watching over us.
I think Luna would probably keep watch outside the stable because I'm assuming the guards will still be like have arrows on it, so she'll be outside.
Gotcha. Yep.
Staring them down.
Yep. And certainly, if this is affecting Florian, if someone wants to watch Florian's house.
Oh, actually, you know what? I think he's. I'm the only one who actually is okay with Florian. Perhaps I should go watch Florian's house.
Yeah.
Evil grin.
Watch the bar.
I mean, there's someone here who's there's someone here who is.
Florian's dying. Oh.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Luna has the house.
I mean, there's someone here who's won over a little assistant of Florian's.
Oh no! His heart stopped in his sleep. Oh no!
That pillow that pillow just got stuck on his face. I don't know how that happened. So Celia, you going to where? Celia, are you going to the stable, or are you going with Luna to Florian's house, or what are you up to?
Honestly, I don't think Luna would even allow Celia to go with Florian.
Yeah, probably not.
So she will go to the stables and keep guard outside.
Okay. So we'll start off with heading down to the stables, and you all sort of follow when Iska goes and knocks. People are once again familiar with you all and Balshirian allowing you in, so they don't give you any trouble to go over. And Iska knocks and goes in and says, "We have a plan. I don't fully understand it. Maybe Axel can explain it to you best." And you see Balshirian turn around and raise one of his sort of avian eyebrows on this huge griffin form. His blue feathers now actually looking quite resplendent after Luna and Iska took some time with him yesterday, and the stall looking fairly clean as well. Some of the bits and parts of his last meals that had been festering in corners now removed and taken away, and Luna using her water magic to help clean up. It certainly is a much better state than it was in before. And Balshirian turns his head to you and raises one wizard.
Yes, I am a wizard. I have a method of using the connection between yourself, Florian, and Iska to look into, walk through this connection into Florian's mind, and if need be, Celia can perhaps interact or see the issue and approach it and either heal it on a mental level or find out the physical source that we can deal with. It's like I don't know if you've had an injury or something and you've had to have a doctor or a vet, poke around in there before you get a healing spell. It's incision to fix whatever's inside. So there's going to be a magic circle, there's going to be a window into the bond, and then when need be, Iska has the ability to either step through or reach through that window where she needs to be. I have a version where you can accompany her, but that's a lot more risk.
We should keep this risk to a minimum. Perhaps I could keep eye on what is happening and relay it to the group. As she rides the bond to take a peek inside. Sorry.
He's got a bathroom.
Yes. Why? Well, Iska going and take a...
Goes to the bathroom before this all starts,
Yes.
guys, by the way. Yeah, I mean, that should work fine. It shouldn't interrupt. Yep, so I've got everything here set up using, magic that I'm very familiar with, or that I have a good insight into. Component that is not needed, but again might help stabilize the entire thing, is donation of blood into the ink. But of course, blood, understandable if you don't want to do that. The ink is only going to be used for this.
You see Balshrian put out one of his talons and takes the other one and...
Yep. And Axel, has a ink bottle that catches a couple of good drops of it, and alright, that should help, and he'll get it out of his own and drip some blood into there.
Iska donates hers as well.
Yeah, mix it up, again, mixes it with the silver powder, and sits down to paint the magical circle.
Okay, so while you're doing those preparations, we will go over to Luna. How are you approaching Florian's house? Are you...
She would be, because she knows she's not in the Gorzon place anymore, so she'd be more discreet about it. So kind of taking back alleys and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Are you stealthing or just...
Pass without a tracing.
Oh, okay. So go ahead and roll me a stealth roll just so we can see how it goes. But yeah, with pass without a trace, in the way as crowded as the city is, you're not going to have any... 21 with the pass without a trace. It's crowded, so... and as a Genasi walking through, you do catch a few eyes, but...
I imagine for this, she'd probably have hood up.
Yeah, so, it's just... again, it is very crowded, so it's hard to not, even in the alleys. But out of 21, no one stops you or seems to have anything. If you could roll me a perception check.
Sure thing. Perception. Did I have advantage?
You needed to call it before you go
Dang
through.
it.
If you were going to spend on it. If you have donations, you can certainly spend.
I do have one left, so we'll do that. You know what? So donation add advantage. I want to actually see what's going on. Didn't need the advantage, but that's okay. Marked off.
Okay.
Team.
So, on the 18, you were walking along, and for a second, your heart almost skipped a beat because you thought you had bumped into a member of the Arcana Mystica, but it was just that their robes very much were close to the color scheme, that sort of lavender and silver. But having that immediately come to your mind, you spot standing in front of Florian's front door 2 guards that seem to be posted there, obviously in Arcana Mystica regalia. A younger, sort of heavier built guard doesn't look wizardly as you sort of think of them. Much heavier built than you would have attributed to someone who was a wizard or who had gone through arcane studies. And then the other one is an older gentleman, sort of seems gruff, sort of perpetual frown on his face, again in those same robes, looking a little bit more comfortable in his wizardly regalia, and sort of fits the stereotype a little bit better.
All right, she's definitely not going to approach from the front. Gotta try and I don't know if there are any trees by Florian's compound or anything.
There really aren't. There are other buildings around that you could potentially climb up onto other buildings. It is, Sojourn's Crossing is built very tight together. There are alleyways. There's not a whole lot of greenery except right in the very center of the crossroads around that pond, the watering hole for all the livestock.
Yeah, I think she tried to find a building like close by so she can try and keep an eye on it.
Okay.
Not directly at the compound, but nearby.
You can do a athletics and or a acrobatics, your choice.
Definitely acrobatics.
On a 10, you're normally better at this. The thing that got in your way, the building looked like it was in good repair. However, as you were climbing up the side of it, you realized that one of these nice mansions in this corner of town, or mansion for Sojourn's Crossing, some of the exterior actually had illusion magic cast upon it. And so when you were going to put your foot down, it literally passes right through, as it was only an illusion. You catch your balance, but it is neither graceful nor silent as you make your way up to your vantage point. Are you keeping an eye on the front of the house or the back of the house? Back of the house. You were muted, but I think I saw red lips.
Yes, back of the house. My bad.
So you're able to do that. You, in general, know a little bit of the layout of the bottom floor from when you went to the party here, but the upper floors you're not very familiar with, and there seem to be heavy curtains pulled around most of the areas. You do see, as you look to the back of the house, there do seem to be 2 guards posted at the back door as well, sort of more of a servant's entrance, which just from your own general layout is kind of where you would think the kitchen would have been, as you and Iska actually were working the party in and out of the kitchen. So mentally you're pretty sure that that's sort of like the kitchen entrance in this other alleyway.
Gotcha. All right.
Let's go back to Axel as you keep an eye out there, Luna. Vidar, I believe you said you were helping out with this. So Axel, if you'll do me an Arcana check with advantage as Vidar helps you out, as he is familiar with magic circles as well.
Just realized I didn't roll anything for the day. Okay. Yep, I kind of check with advantage. Cool.
Ooh, on a 27. You, even in this sort of, you've brushed off an area, and there is a sort of stone floor that is of Balshirian's stable here. And you are able to get it clean enough and etched enough so that you're able to create this circle and these runes, and are able to begin the casting of this spell that you have prepared. Riley sort of stands to the side and looks on. He sort of has moved over and is standing beside you, Luck. His hand almost drifts to yours as he does seem a little bit worried about this. The biggest thing that you notice is, Luck, even though it's only been a couple days since you all arrived in Sojourn's Crossing, you're now looking Riley all but eye to eye, as he does seem to continue to mature and grow at this accelerated rate, being this rune-born warforged.
You keep that up, we're gonna need to build you a bigger house.
Yeah, I guess. I can't help it.
Oh, guess we're gonna have a giant on our team.
Well, you're already as strong as a giant.
Got me there.
Think everything's gonna be okay?
We've battled an archdemon, faced off against a crazy inventor dude who summoned a dragon. I think we've got this.
Okay. Celia, as you are outside, do me a perception check just to see if anyone is paying any particular attention. Ooh, on a nat 20. You barely spot them. It is just by chance that you happen to glance, and also having had a close encounter back up in Balathira, that you see the most innocuous looking, never would draw suspicion or even a moment's worth of notice from anybody, except from someone else who had once been in the Obsidian Order. As a farmer, way across the other side of the paddocks, just seems to glance too long and too hard in your direction before disappearing into the crowd.
Celia just kind of gives a sigh, shakes her head. She just kind of whispers to herself, well, it was going to happen sooner or later. But she'll stay at her post.
Okay. So, Axel, describe to me how you cast this spell.
So, he gets out, of course, the sheet, and he will draw out the magic circle with Iskrin doing the same as well, working on it together. Because they both feel like he sets up, of course, a runic enclosure. He will set up at least. There's a one center, of course. There's a rune circle in the center for Iska. He's got plenty of time, but he doesn't need to stand in it while he draws it. There is attached 2 other normal-sized ones, which is for Cat. Which is for... It's trying to kill my hand. Which is for Riley. Riley, because, of course, he is providing his innate magical ability to it. One for Axel, because he's, of course, casting the spell and he needs to be connected to it. There is a very large one for Balshurian. It's less of a... They're not in the circle as they are contributing to it.
Right.
They're on the edges, and Iska's, of course, in the center. And once, of course, everyone's ready, he'll ask him to take positions. Sit down, take a leak. Everything you need to do, because this, don't know how long it will take. It's really up to Iska and Balshurian. Once everyone's sort of sitting in their position, he will there is a slot at the top of his miniature circle. If you wouldn't mind, Lyle, if you could set Lyle there, because of course Lyle is acting as an anchor.
Yeah.
And he will, just below and around where Lyle sits, he will inscribe the insight, the gate, the blood. What was it? Renewal, a life in a complex series of runes where they are chained together, with, of course, the insight and gate being the outwards ones. And, of course, he'll set in... It's closed and it's not there for anything other than magical force and a magical focus alongside Lyle, but he also said in the Mirror of Peeping, which is not yet the Mirror of Secrets.
Yeah. But
it's, again, a focus rather than... It's not drawing on anything because he's like, I'm not breaking it this time.
Yeah.
And when he finishes that last rune, he will tap it, and there is a flash as it's a glowing black magic spreads out across the lettering. It's almost as if it sparks, as if it's burning up the silver and the ink and will consume it, and when it's completed the runes, it will flash out across the entire circle and light up all the lines, and it has been cast.
So, as that happens, that flash of dark light. It almost sucks the other light out of the room, and so it looks and leaves it bright. You see Iska's eyes shut, and she sort of slumps over to her side. You feel as this gateway opens. It doesn't physically open, but you can feel as though, almost like when a door opens into another room, you can feel it happen. It's almost like a draft pushes through your mind. You see Balshirian shudder a little bit as well. And Riley kind of looks over to you, so you know that he has felt it too. You feel Iska, her presence, almost as though it were ethereal. You see nothing, but you feel as though someone is now moving in this space, even though Iska is just slumped over on her side. You hear Balshirian, his eyes rolled up, only the whites showing. There is a doorway. Beyond is a webwork of threads. Iska is approaching the door. He paused for a moment. She is peering through, but it is as though she cannot see what she needs. She is stepping through. You hear in your minds.
The ring. Put us in the ring. Get us away from here. Highmount. Take us to Highmount. We're willing. Just get us to Florian's body. I'll take care of the rest.
Yeah, I sort of repeated that as he heard it. God.
Did you all understand it? It might not have been as loud as I was hoping it was going to be.
It was just spookily quiet.
So you hear her speak. You hear Iska's voice through Balshirian's mouth. And Balshirian looks at you and goes, "The door is shutting. She's on the other side."
I'm going to put my hand up towards Lyle and at the circular part that's missing, and there's a glowing diamond sapphire. I'm going to draw the ring out of there and then point it towards Balshirian.
As you look at the ring, still with some swirling of that red, that cursed continents inside of it, you hear in all of you, your actual ears, you hear a note, pure and clear, as though someone is drawing a bow across violin strings. And you watch as that note is played. The ring clears and is back to normal.
The fates, eh? Let's do this. fist, and ring shines. Belshurian goes into the ring. Is that what we're supposed to be doing?
Iska in the ring.
Iska.
Yeah, Iska's body is still lying there. Her mind went through the gate.
So yeah, just a hand on Iska's shoulder and flash of starlight into the ring.
And as you know, it's strange because normally you can't put an unconscious person in. But as she said in her message, she is willing. They are willing.
Presuming as soon as she's in the ring, since she's caused the center of the spell, sort of just putters out with no center focal point.
Balshirian, she saw something. I assume saw Florian.
Great.
From the sound of things, she might have fetched his consciousness, because she was talking about them and they. So maybe there was both of them there. I mean, we need to bring the ring to High Mountain now. I thought his body was here.
It is. You'll need to go get it.
Oh yeah, we'll just walk in. Hey, hi you guys. Can we just pick up the body of the unconscious Arcana Mystica man? Great, thanks.
Well, you could have help. The Arcana Mystica is, I'm sure, throughout the house. When I was less myself after the assassination, I could feel their presence all through there. Nathaniel is an ally. If he is still Nathaniel, and still himself, he will help you. You must be certain it is him, though, before saying these words. It is vital that what happened that day remains out of nefarious hands. $10 from Hawkeye. Advantages for everybody. Thanks, Hawkeye.
Yes, thank you.
Legitimately saying something for a second. I'm like, that's a voice change.
Roshirin, are you feeling okay?
Yes. Sorry. Balshirian looks you, again, refocused, looks you in the eyes and goes, if it... It is vital. I'm going to go back up because I got to get back into it. It's vital that what happened that day remains out of nefarious hands. Say these words to Nathaniel and Nathaniel only. Say them exactly. The hatching was difficult. If not for the squire, both the Gilded heir and the Griffin Prince would have been lost.
Anybody writing that down?
I can send it to you in chat.
I had half of it and then I lost the end of it.
If you get Florian, I will follow later once news of him being gone breaks. Me breaking out at that point will be explainable and not be tied to you. We need to make sure people believe Florian is still in Sojourn's Crossing for as long as possible.
Aren't we just make a fake Florian? We got with your magic, Axel?
I mean, it wouldn't stand up to scrutiny.
Well, it buys us time.
And I mean, like, when you say vague, it will be an illusion which only lasts like an hour. We're talking about days, hopefully.
Well, you just do what you do. You just do the old pillow trick, don't you? Throw a cover over it. Get all the time to sneak out.
That's an option.
We'll give it a go. Maybe we could quickly go in.
Yeah, Celia's old pillow trick.
Ishkren.
Stab.
So, to this Nathan fellow, Nathaniel?
Nathaniel. Yes.
Right, well,
but the Arcana Mystica is tricky. Like I said, you must ensure that he is himself and not someone else entirely masquerading as him. The Arcana Mystica are masters of illusion. It is their greatest weapon.
Oh, good thing I'm a simple man. Let's go.
Yeah.
Sometimes the simple ways are best, but perhaps also the noisiest. The longer of a head start you have, the better.
Familiar with that.
Pulls out the Hat of Disguise. Well, I guess making a distraction is what I'm good at.
Meanwhile, I feel destroying this wonderful piece of arcane art is essential at the same time.
Oh, yeah, I was going to do that immediately. Right. Yeah. It'd be really useful if we had Luna here. She could just wash it all away and done.
What about your cleaning lady?
Yes.
Really?
we pay you by the month. Set contract.
Balshurian actually, he was like, "You can go along. I can take care of this." And he, between his wings and tail and claws, is able to pretty much get this taken care of, and knocks over his a big sort of half barrel of water that gets most of it taken care of. The rest he lays on and goes, "I can cover the rest with blood when they bring my lunch."
Fair enough. While this is happening, I pull out a Sphere of Winter Wonders and just give it a spin to see what it's going to be for the day.
Go ahead and give it a roll. Ooh.
To the Wand of Winter style.
Hey.
That's always nice.
That's always well. I like a bit more of a kick.
Much more of a kick. So, just Templar, in case you missed it before, I did put your new rune.
I didn't see that.
And the new cloak.
Yeah, I saw those both. It's fun.
So, what's next? We've got to go get Florian's body and put it in the ring? Riley asks.
Yes. Although we might want to hold off that until we're straight up leaving town. I don't know, was there any reason we're staying, I suppose? I mean, it's a trip to Highmount.
Yeah. I mean, Mr. Short Whisker was saying that it's like 3 weeks.
Three weeks.
The roads are crowded, but it said there's lots of people to meet. Riley kind of smiles.
Well, there's the option we head off alone. We can go faster. I can, again, time rune. I can dilate. So we can go faster, but that would just be us. Whereas a caravan's also a little faster going alone as well. But of course we can't accelerate with that. We should probably have the discussion with everyone, I think. But we have a course of action. Are we done here? Cool.
Let's swap back up to Luna while you guys, unless you got something else.
I was just going to say that when Axel leaves, he does take a look around, just to check in the surroundings and stuff.
Yeah, go ahead and do a. Well, you come outside. Celia's outside, and you can do a perception check as well, Axel.
Yeah, it's more like, was anyone around like the sides of it, or could be like listening in or above or something like that?
I mean, this is a fully enclosed barn. I mean, so it's good to check. But with Celia's nat 20 before and your perception, it does not seem as though there's anyone who is hiding, and you don't see any runes or arcane methods that might have been used for eavesdropping here.
All right. So we've got.
I'll check if is Luna in range of mental.
Oh yeah, she's within a mile easily.
Yeah, we'll just get sent a little message saying, Luna, we're going to be heading back to the Cloak and Fireball for a bit of a discussion. What to do next? We have an idea of what we need to do.
Did the ritual work?
To an extent, we're just going to need old Gilded body with us in the ring.
All right, I will return to the Cloak and Fireball.
Thank you.
Roll me a perception check, Luna.
Sure. I assumed that was all mental and I wasn't actually talking out
loud.
Oh
yeah, no perception check.
Okay.
Yeah. This is as you as you're getting set to leave. On a 15, out the back door, you do see the familiar figure of Nathaniel exiting and heading out sort of into the market district.
And I met Nathaniel and I know his
for sure. He was there for Children of the Children. He he was the one who gave you and Iska direction when you were at the party and all that type of stuff. He is Florian's manservant.
Okay. Luna will then radio back to Vidar. I'll be a little late, and she's going to try to stealthily follow Nathaniel. She doesn't know the password or anything. But...
Right. Yeah, no, do me a favor and roll me a stealth check. With the length of the ritual, we'll say...
I'll recast past that.
I was going to say, I think you probably would have expired by this point.
Yep,
so,
no
if you were recast, that's fine.
Yep, recast. 32?
32. This time, you... After your embarrassment before, you find your way down and check your every foothold and handhold before assuming that what you see is real. It is interesting. You do find there seems to be a whole lot of allusion to the wealth of this part of this district than you were expecting. Once you get above like people's normal reach on these buildings, a lot of it is not maintained. It is basically has some sort of illusion magic to keep up appearances. As you get down, you are. What would you like to do? You feel as though you are well hidden.
Okay. Yeah, I imagine she's still just try to basically see what his routine is, because since she knows Nathaniel and assuming that she's going to try and see when's the best time, to like get a hold of him, see if this is his regular routine or anything. Like, she's basically mapping his routine because she's not a people person. Other people are though.
Right.
So she's kind of scouting it out for everybody else.
Okay. Do me an insight check. As just sort of, what seems to be routine and what seems to be like a specialty something. On a 14, he's buying some food, some groceries. He makes a few other stops that you're like, well, that's not something you do every day, but, that doesn't seem like it would do every day. He goes into places. You see he stops and gets a nip of wine, like a little glass of port from a stall along the way. You see... again, getting some fresh veg, things like that. It's about a 3-hour sort of outing that he does. Do me another perception check just as you're going along. On a 14, it doesn't seem terribly out of the ordinary. You know that he does do all of Florian's pretty much day-to-day type things. So nothing sticks out as anything unusual for Nathaniel to be doing.
Okay. All right. So after getting the full routine, then she'll finally head to the cloak and fireball.
Okay. You guys, you all made it back well before Luna. She was gone for about an hour beyond the time when you all had returned. And as she arrives, y'all can be downstairs having an ale. It's around lunchtime, as y'all were up at breakfast before. Lunch crowd is in. It is very crowded as the town is full. Most people talking about getting on the road, starting out, any last big trades that they're going on. It is kind of a bit of a raucous room, so to speak, after y'all sort of more subdued morning of magic. It is a little bit, it's almost jarring to be back here in the tavern. Warm, familiar, noisy. And I turn the table over to you.
So we're gonna have to make a decision real quick. We need to pack up and leave and get on the road.
Is there anything we're waiting for? Anyone here waiting for anything?
Hello.
Oh. Okay, well, as you can see, Iska is not here. That is because she's tucked away safely in the ring. Because for some reason she decided to, I guess, lock herself away in a mindscape. We need to collect the idea. I think what she told us to is to collect. Perhaps we should have this conversation in a room.
Maybe.
Like...
Yeah.
Oh, mental, yeah.
Or you can do it all through telepathy.
Tyler forgot about that. Yeah.
That's also
Axel will swap over to mental.
Constantly not talking.
I was gonna say it will be a little bit weird that a table of pure silence and people nodding and expressions.
Luke's gonna cover that and just start telling one of his stories.
Okay. So you can do that. So Luck can basically be telling a story that you all have heard 100 times. So you've all learned how to tune out Luck's stories by now.
It's a story that Luck knows how to tell, like as like a reaction.
Yeah.
So Iska's decided to tuck herself away. I'm presuming with Florian's mind. She asked us to bring both her body and Florian's to Highmount, presumably as a way to restore something there. That was, of course, before she got cut off. She seemed fine at the time, though. Yeah, so we need to know how we're going to get to Highmount and how quickly we can get it done. And of course, we need to get Florian's body, which is another whole thing. Bajorian's given us a few tips, one of which is included in making sure Nathaniel is not kind of illusioned. And then, of course, giving him a passphrase, and hopefully he can help us get Florian out and get as far as possible before people notice that Florian is gone. Because, of course, there's going to be somebody on the kind of mystical watching. Yeah.
Luna will just relay what she knows of Nathaniel's routine and what she remembers of the bottom layer of the house, because she couldn't really see upstairs.
Yep. Yeah, I was going to say, all of you were... actually, I think Luck was outside. He was one of the guards on the outside. But Celia, of course, knows the interior layout. So does Axel. So does Luna. Iska does as well. Vidar would not.
Was that if we're going to hit the road, we're going to be hoofing it? We're going to have to make some distance as soon as possible. There's also the method of how we're going to get inside. I mean, if we want to be in and out as quick as possible, then if we give Celia the ring...
I can get somebody in.
Give Celia a ring.
Oh, you have Dimension Door, don't you?
Yes, so one idea I did have is let Celia have the ring, pop me in there, we get in there, we put Florian in the ring, and then the Dimension Door out and away as far as possible.
I was going to say it's probably watered. It was watered last time we were here. And of course it will set off alarms. No, we need to get inside without getting attention. Again, Ragam runes do function differently, and there is a way of getting somebody inside that way. Or at least.
I wonder if we can play the Nullifier card. Nah, that won't work.
It would probably still draw attention. But it's not a bad idea.
I mean, if you could
I think...
If you could try to contact Eva and get her blessing, that might...
She's across the place.
True.
I don't really want to pull her into this, considering the fact that her life is now as much in danger as Florian's.
True.
Of course, I think one thing we need to do is, if we're going to be planning anything, we do need to bring Nathaniel in on it if we can. And we also need a way out. Are we going to take a caravan, or are we going to go buy mounts? Because one, of course, we do travel faster than on alone, but we can't use... I can't use the dragon stride while we're on a caravan, which we can while we're on horses. Or mounts. There's also some sort of security in traveling on a caravan as well.
As far as the escape route is concerned, I'm not sure what would be the best course. However, if we manage to get Nathaniel on our side, the probably simplest, if they're used to him being in the house, to give him the room, place Florian's body in, and have it transit back to us.
That would be the most sensible thing. Again, we do need to... That is a good idea.
That still doesn't make me comfortable to put it in the hands of another person outside this circle.
I mean, there's that. I mean, we can easily keep an eye on him. But another thing is, of course, hiding the fact that Florian's gone. We could make like a fake cloth head, put in the bed, but we can give Nathaniel the hat of disguise. And he can just pretend to be Florian.
Just be asleep every time someone comes to check him.
It's a terrible idea. We probably need to get him on this for all the planning. If we really could decide anything.
Well, I just accepting this nation's God.
Here is a thought. Are you certain, if the Arcana Mystic have realized that Florin was no longer in the possession, do you think they'd let the general public know?
Of course not.
Probably not. They might, but of course at that point Belshurian will make a fuss.
Because if they see Belshurian take off and realize Florian's gone, I assume they will assume Florian is awake. They won't have a reason to stay at that house anymore. Townspeople know of Belshurian.
That makes sense.
Logic stands.
I mean, we do kind of want to draw attention away from Belshurian. Although, again, there's not a lot of good options. Perfect options, at least.
We could make a fuss somewhere else in town. A couple of us. Bit of noise, bit of entertainment, maybe, something like that. Draw a bit of a crowd.
To what end? Make a distraction for getting in? I think.
It could work. If the Arcana Mystica suspects something is up, maybe something suspicious with the distraction, we'll send a few people.
Do you think the Arcana Mystica will come run if there is such an incredible surge of magical power?
Absolutely not. We do
It's
that, and we're
too much attention.
We do that, and we're marking ourselves for a manhunt.
Yeah, we want their attention, not a manhunt.
But what if it's not a man they're looking for? What if it's a by surge?
What are you suggesting?
That we trigger a vice surge here?
Trigger a vice surge at the front of town?
How?
I'm sure the weave isn't as chaotic as I remember it. I mean, Ishkin could still see it, I'm sure, if I just look in the right spot. Should possibly remember where one lies, and then just blast some arcane power into it.
I'm not so sure I want to bring that on the people of the town.
Any other options?
Outside of town, of course.
I mean, the distraction is predicated on the fact that we'll draw attention getting him out of there, but we want to draw no attention getting him out of there, and we want to go secret for as long as possible.
Okay.
Well,
Dimension or in, dimension or out.
if a vice surge is what you're looking for, I can handle that. You all can concentrate on extraction. But a Genasi causing a vice surge, well, now that's something to know. And it's not like I'm not already wanted by the church anyway. I care little what people think of me.
Sadly.
Still. But still.
Still what?
A Genasi at the center of a vice surge. Someone who's actively
And the
stepping
other
up.
Genasi here will know what power they can wield.
That's true.
It will not be out of control. I will be in control of it. The people will know what it is. Two birds, one stone.
I just don't want the church, the temple, using this as an
I'll stay on watch.
excuse for propaganda.
If the church is in the area, I'll deal with them.
The church already wants to kill me. Do you think they'll want me double dead?
Want
I
to
don't
turn
care.
against the Genasi.
they already hunt and fake us into items. What more could they do?
You can't get much worse than that, Iskrid.
Can't get much worse than that.
There's a risk I'm willing to take, and we cannot vacillate options all day. We must pick one.
Okay.
Doubt if Nathaniel is actually Nathaniel. We find out Nathaniel's actually Nathaniel, and we bring him on, if we can bring him on board, and that will inform our future decisions if we can just walk in there with his help. Done.
We've got a distraction.
Yep.
We've got a plan.
We
The
just
only-
need to-
Yes. How do we get out?
six stallions. A little bit out in the field, maybe.
We need something that can get us quickly from Florian's home to out of Sojourn's.
We only need 2 people at the most to be at Florian's. One person with the ring and obviously out.
I mean, a couple of invisibilities, and we can take a bit of time getting out.
I can ask Mithrani.
That's true.
It's an option. It's...
Yeah, please enough.
So, do you all have a plan that you all are landing on? I've heard vice surges, distractions. I've heard lots
I
of
think
dimension
we've got
dooring.
them.
I've heard invisibilities. I've heard Nathaniel being used as a courier. What's the?
Oh.
So-
The ring. Nathaniel could collect the ring and simply walk outside. I
Yeah, that was said a while ago.
I wasn't listening.
It was said a while ago.
Okay,
It was said.
when did I? Please tell me I'm not.
That
an
was
idiot.
like
We're sitting here.
when.
that was like the beginning of the
Was
discussion.
it? Oh my god!
Yeah,
I had.
I think
completely
Vidar
zoned
said
out.
no to it though. Cause
Oh,
like, I
did
don't
Vidar
like
say
that idea.
no? Oh, okay. Someone throw me
Oh.
out the window. I'm gonna jump out the window now, guys.
So,
Like
Why
I'm
is
busy
that-
telling a story?
I was actually trying to form a story in my head. Sorry. So, what is the 1,000th time I've said this story? I'm an idiot.
so yeah, didn't you say you had a long time ago that you had a thing with, wasn't it Florian? Not a thing. It was a funny
Last
story.
time.
Was it Florian? Who was it?
Oh, Nathaniel had a crush on Celia until she broke his heart like into a million little pieces when she went after Florian.
Yeah.
She ripped poor Nathaniel's heart out of his chest and did a little samba on top of it, if I recall.
Hey, next day he was fine. He went to Iska.
That's true.
Poor Nathaniel.
I mean, seeing this crush of his again might yield truer results. Maybe.
Or it could put him in an
Oh, good.
emotionally scarred state.
Uh,
I mean, if you find that Nathaniel is in fact Nathaniel, I'm sure he will want Florian help.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So no real need to coerce it. And
Maybe
then we need an alternative if it's not him. Because I think if it is him, he could probably just get someone in there.
I know just what to ask him.
Okay. Because I feel like you asking him would be a lot better than some strange moon elf asking him.
Right.
Or
I know just what to ask him to see if it's him.
Yeah,
Okay.
if it's an illusion, of course, you can, unless it's a solid illusion that they exist, of course you might be able to tell from off.
Excellent. Well,
Looks.
I'll run to the ring. We can dimension door out at the very end once we pick up Florian.
This is the Arcana Mystica. Do you think we can just poof in and out with magic?
It's worked before the ring.
But things have changed. We've been away for months.
Yeah, sure.
There's a lot of
It
people in
depends.
there as an attention on the house.
It's how much Eve has compromised us by.
I could just polymorph someone
Maybe.
when we go in. Just tuck it in the shirt or something, and you got 2 people in there. Lots of unnecessary thoughts. No, that's unnecessary.
Or we could
So-
just go with a non-magical animal. Pulls out Grain. He's still small enough to get through cracks and small holes. Or smallish.
We also have,
Great and gonorrhea
we also
adventures.
Celia pulls her cloak hood to the side and says, "We also have Thief's best friend."
I'm now on board with Great and gonorrhea.
You are going
Just say, y'all like
in your adventures.
in danger instead of just trusting someone for once.
Y'all are just like the
All
pet.
the things you're going through instead of just confirming if someone's down and trusting
Yeah.
them. I'll have issues.
Yeah, dude.
Okay.
It's D&D. I will at least say it's D&D.
I mean, Axel's working on the presence that even if we can trust Nathaniel, he might just be in a better spot as that we are in his own home. So
Yeah.
That sounds like what Nathaniel.
Yeah, it's a hope. It's a plan for the worst, hope for the best type
Yeah.
of situation.
So let's use the money from my coin purse to purchase some horses. We're gonna have Luna running the distraction, watched over by Luck. Axel and Riley, are you two gonna be on watch by the house, or are you gonna?
well,
do
if
your-
we're going to be, I mean, I'm not so sure about getting 6 horses and just leaving them outside in the middle of nowhere where anyone can just untie them and take.
I mean, Riley, and I'm sure the fire genasi would be happy to. I'd be happy to help Gendry. If we can borrow him for an hour.
We'll have to ask him. Okay, so that's the plan.
That's the plan.
Get the horses ready before we start all this distraction. Once we've got this plan established, distraction, if we need to draw our kind of mystic eyes away from the house, and then somebody goes in with Nathaniel.
Yes.
Cool.
I'm a familiar face, so I'm not gonna do it.
Right. I mean, that's a plan. Let's get things started. Are you okay with that, Riley?
So I'm gonna hold some horses out in a field.
If you're okay with that. I mean,
Yeah,
I'm
that's
thinking
sure.
at this point I can probably be part of that as well.
Oh, okay.
If they don't need me anywhere else, we can do it. Yeah, but that's initial plan.
I mean, having the dragon stride prepared and ready to go at a moment's notice would be fantastic.
We need to buy. Looking, if we're going to be doing like 3 weeks of journey, I will need more gems.
So yeah, we'd be able
Yeah, you're able to have picked those up when you.
Oh yeah. I was going to say I was just going to change the numbers and change
yeah,
my
to
goal.
change your numbers. Yeah.
Yeah. But it's like, oh yeah, we'll take, drop into the shop, buy some stuff.
Yep.
Admittedly, time is the run rune I did not use.
It is the one rune you did not use.
All right.
So
Let's talk to Nathaniel first. Good start.
we'll let this idea percolate in all your heads while we take a quick
Oh,
break and do part
God.
of the week.
I don't know what's happening.
Neither do I. So
It's gonna go terribly. I mean, it'll be fine.
D&D plans that never
Yeah.
work out how you intend them to.
So we're gonna take
often do our plans work out, though?
So we're going to take a quick break while Luna tells us a little bit more about our charity and also takes us through Pun of the Week.
Hello, everybody. If this is your first time here, welcome. If you've been here before, welcome back. This channel is run 100% for charity. Charities change roughly every other month. This month's charity being Mental Health America. Organization does a lot of good work with diagnosing mental health issues and helping with it. There's so many good resources. If you'd like to see what's all available on their site, please click on the purple lettering in the description below the banner. If you'd like to donate to their cause through our channel, click on the banner above that. It will take you to the Twitch page where you do your donation, set up everything. And we have various donation levels. We have for $1, you can give a player a D10 healing dice. For any amount, you can add to our spell bank, and at every $100 increment, where the level of spell we have gets higher. So 100, level 1, 200, level 2, so on and so forth. $2, you can give a player an advantage. For $3, a D12 bardic inspiration die. $5, a luck dice. You can reroll any dice like damage or attack or save. Anything except a death saving throw, you just get a mulligan on it. Just you roll straight up. $10, give a party member a potion from the party punch bowl. For $25, apparently it's still there, action surge. We can all be fighters in our hearts. But please don't feel pressure to donate. You can also do things like share us on social media like Twitter, Facebook, other things I don't use. But whatever you decide to do, we hope you decide to stay tuned in and enjoy the rest of the session. And the good guy is back. Do you have a recommendation?
I do. It is called The Heroes of the SAS. It's a really interesting book. It goes over, first the making of the SAS and how it was established and its original role, and then develops into a lot of stories about covering from World War II up to more recent-ish sort of happenings such as Afghan and such, and the role certain people played in the SAS. There are I have recently reached Major Mike Kelly, which is, I believe he took an operation within the snow and was, I believe, a training exercise went wrong and he went out of his way to fix it. It's quite interesting to figure out or find out what this sort of the special forces get up to and the certain people that play roles in it, and some of the very interesting stories that come out from very real world situations. There you go.
Thank you very much. So there you go. The SAS. Go and give it a read if you like. And we were gone for, I forget, were we gone for 2 weeks or 1 week? I'm confused now. 2
weeks.
2 weeks. All right. So I do have the right number of palindromes, because when we missed, we have palindromes ready. Palindrome the first. May a moody baby doom a yam.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Palindrome the second. I'm a fool. Aloof am I. Jay, you're muted. If you're,
I'm just gonna trust you on these.
Just so those are our palindromes we're missing. But again, we were gone for 2 weeks, so there's also 2 puns.
Oh.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Don't have to.
No.
Yeah, I do
No.
have. And we know it's everybody's favorite segment, Pun of the Week. First pun, full credit to the Pale Lord, who submitted this one. How do you get someone who plays D&D to go out with you?
How?
You ask him for a D8.
Wow.
Again, that's full credit to the Pale Lord.
Wow, that's
Full
bad.
credit.
Holy cow, that's bad.
You guys realize we asked for this, right?
Yeah,
Oh.
we did. All those years ago. You let me do it.
All those years.
We should have cut off the head of the snake before it got
Why
this
would you
far.
cut off a snake? You monster! You monster! You're never seeing my snakes ever. Monster.
I'm sorry.
But yes, now the pun from me, your local huntress.
Oh dear.
What do you call an ice cube without a beard?
What?
Shaved ice!
No. Sorry, no. No. Just no.
No.
No. No, just no.
Want it? No.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
You
It's,
do want it. You
missed it.
said yes.
Missed it. I missed it. I'm so happy.
yeah, no. No.
More timed.
Thought about waiting for you. I saw you on camera, but I decided to be nice. Why 5d20? The Brood. I think it's like 3d8s at tops. Because D&D dates with no. They're
Okay.
harder. You're welcome. See? A subscription. Someone appreciates the art. Thank you, son.
Why are you all encouraging her?
Quality. Very good.
I should run a D&D dating show where you make characters to date monsters. That's it.
Hello, son. I know some people who'd be about that.
Sexy
Yeah,
young.
I've already taken it as encouragement. Too late. You validated me.
Okay.
300-year-old lich looking for a
Okay,
date.
so what
Nothing
is
explodes,
this?
you don't die.
What is this plan? What is this craziness y'all
You have
come
a
up
plan?
with?
Oh, I mean, yeah, the plan.
There's a plan. I claim there was
Yeah, there's some sort of plan going on here.
Yeah, this is.
Totes.
So, yeah, how do y'all want to proceed? let's just go with yeah. How do y'all want to proceed? Because
This is our version of the Italian Job.
We
I mean,
ask.
I'm gonna make a spectacle of the town, and Luck's gonna watch. So there's
Yes.
that. Our part's real simple. I'm glad I'm part of this part of the plan because the rest of it, no.
I like this part. This part's the easy part.
okay, so we've got Luna and Luck going and unleashing a vice. Give me the number if you will, just so I kind of know what the hell's gonna happen or not.
Yep. I will.
Yeah, this is the one you stored all the way back in East.
Yep, I made sure to keep it written down.
Yep. Okay, so what was it? Let's see.
Give legendary resistance. What?
What?
Okay. Great. That's good to know.
It would be great if just some random NPC gets legendary resistance. No, but you know what? If that happens, I want it to be Brother Anthony. I want it to be. He earned it.
Legendary resistance against any failing door check.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So we have that happening. We have Axel and Riley are heading out into a field are going to go buy horses. Correct? Go buy horses and then go wait outside of town for everyone.
Buy feed as well. Rations. Okay. Stock up on things, I think, at this point.
Basically, prepare the thing, but you're not like getting wagons. You're basically thinking you're going to... So horses, mounts to get through...
Mounts, yep.
Yep, okay. Cool. So y'all are getting mounts. So then we've got Celia and Vidar who are on infiltration.
Yeah. Vidar in the rings. They are on Nathaniel duties.
Yeah, I get to make sure Nathaniel's Nathaniel.
Yeah.
Okay.
And well.
Okay. So, you had Luna tell you sort of about his, all of his errands that he ran today over the course of about 2.5 hours. So, how are you planning on? So, how are you going to confront Nathaniel in the house? Are you going to wait? How are you all going about all this?
We're going to bump into Nathaniel.
Okay. So potentially wait till tomorrow, or are you going to try to lure him out, or what sort of? How are you going to bump into? Tell me about how you're going to bump into Nathaniel.
We're gonna have to wait till tomorrow, aren't we?
If we wanted to seem as like, I feel like it'd be suspicious if we like went to the castle and was like, "Oh, Nathaniel, you're here. I didn't know you'd be here."
Yeah, let's wait till tomorrow. So.
Okay, and it is going to take some time to gather up the horses and do some shopping and take care of that stuff. That also, of course, will reset all of Axel's runes, which could be helpful, potentially. Yes. So that could be a thing.
Okay. Yeah. On that.
So, is there anything other than prepping for this plan that y'all want to try to do this evening?
Knowing that we're going to be booking it tomorrow, Luna is just going to go ahead and find Sky and just, if she needs help for work or whatever, she'll do that. But yeah.
So yeah, I mean, you can find Sky fairly easily, and she's cleaning rooms, and y'all can sort of just reminisce. She's in love, and that's pretty much the majority of your conversation seems to center around the fact of her being capital L in love. You hear more about Gandry and his eyes and his flaming hair and his cooking and how sweet he is and how wonderful he is and how her parents love him. He's just the best ever. I've never thought I'd ever meet anyone like him.
I'm glad you're happy. It's that he is quite fond of you as well.
I think so. I think he does. He's.
With that in mind,
yeah.
There's some things that there's some information I would like to leave you that might be useful.
Oh, okay.
Remember all that Corazon training?
Yeah. She blushes as you go through it, but yeah, you do go speed course, and she is very thankful, and you all, she is got the basics of the art of seduction and moving things forward with Gandry.
Pat.
Yeah. She's a little bit shell-shocked afterwards, but then she's just very, very happy. And you all have come up with a plan for how to their next couple months together. Yeah.
I'm gonna hand a potion of haste to Celia, and just in case we need a quick getaway.
Okay.
I've got one for myself, one for you if we need it, but just in case.
Okay. So, without much further, again, it takes you well to dinner, even a little bit for a late dinner by the time you actually have to negotiate for these horses. Just letting you know, in order to buy these horses is going to set you back about 500 gold. They are at a premium right now. So I know you guys have lots of gold and gems and things that you have. So, just go ahead and mark that off. And there's not a whole lot of negotiating to be done because everyone and their brother is trying to go south right now. But you also know that potentially reselling them down in down in High Mount, because there's going to be a lot of people who need a horse to get back. So you all are well invested. You're able to pick out some nice horses that should suit you well. Luna, you can go over your notes that you got from Brother Anthony. Go ahead and do me your cartography tools.
Cartography.
You can even have advantage on this.
Cool, even better. Thank you, advantage.
Cool. On a 24, you are able to sort of plot out with the whole idea of, as you all are planning, a pathway. Where the Cathedral Purity is actually a little bit to the north of Highmount, and potentially, it is off to the west. But as far as to go all the way to Highmount and then go to the Cathedral Purity doesn't make a whole lot of sense. You're most, if you are planning on passing through the Cathedral of Purity, certainly you wouldn't necessarily want to follow the road all the way to Highmount. You would want to break off probably after about a week's worth of travel and head cross country. And that also keeps you off the main roads in case there is any people watching out for you all traveling. As you know, you are well and easily recognized, this group of travelers, especially to the church. With that, yep. So
Celia's gonna do something first.
Okay.
He's gonna carry Vidar with her to go find Axel.
Okay.
Oh yeah, get a piggyback.
And when she does, she says, so I have an idea. And telepathically she says, so I have an idea.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
What's this idea?
So we need time to get away. And we need them to not know that we're taking Florian. Remember how we first met? And I disguised another person to look like me.
Yeah. Fake a death, yeah. We could do that.
It worked for a good while before, the other day.
Yeah, that's an option.
I'm thinking instead of death, maybe we can try and get a poison made that instead of killing puts somebody into a comatose state for a few hours.
It's only a few hours, but that's a good idea. But how long would that take?
Who would we talk to?
I've got anything along those lines.
I think I have somebody that I can talk to. See, whenever you guys were in the barn, I was keeping watch. I saw a farmer that looked quite familiar, as in from the Obsidian Order familiar.
Telepathy. I wonder if it triggers.
Obviously, it's all telepathy.
Yeah, I'm just wondering if that triggers in telepathy as well. Are you sure you want to go and chat to them? Do you think you could?
I mean, he seems to be in hiding. I don't think he's not in it anymore. And knowing how they are, nobody. The only way out is death. And he's here as a farmer.
Either or they're just undercover as a farmer and pretending. Another option, though, a long shot. There might be cursed items that make people look like they're asleep or comatose, and knobs. They might have something.
And I've been absorbing a lot of that corruption from Elevation's pit. I think I can channel it in a way that could either hex his hex his health. In a way.
The issue is we just need the replacement.
I mean, this farmer sounds like the perfect guy.
I mean, I don't think it's something you really want to wish on anyone.
True, but hey, if we're gonna if the obsidian order knows Celia is alive, we're gonna have some people chasing after us in due course. Regardless.
It was gonna happen sooner or later.
I mean, yeah. I mean, if they want to stay hidden, you could always just, I don't know, buy them off or something and say, hey, okay, can you pretend to be this unconscious person until presumably they remove a curse, or they wake you up, or you wake up. But of course, they know then. Although again, they don't want to be. Those are plans. I don't have any idea how we'll implement those.
Against Cilia or Rollerin, yeah, they'd want it dead instead. There's no buy-off in this transaction. Well, I've got a farmer to go meet and a hand to go shake, so I'm going to transfer this corruption to him.
So straight up doing that. Okay. I guess we gotta what? We can't put him in the ring because if he's unconscious.
Yeah, that's the point.
I mean, again, if we have him as, if he is, who you say is, we could have him as a willing participant. I mean, that requires a certain amount of trust, or at least a certain amount of neither of us want to be found. I don't like it.
I can certainly try and talk to him. He knows I'm here. He never
Alright.
saw me.
Do you
Even
want
if
us
he
to-
doesn't know he saw me, I know he saw me. Yeah, I'll try and find him. I'm gonna ask around town and see if I can find him. If y'all stay close, just in case.
All right.
So y'all are going out to try to find this farmer?
Yep, the farmer that I spotted earlier. I'll kind of I'll go over to like one of the citizens here and kind of say hi.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
She'll just kind of say hi, I'm looking for this person, and she'll kind of describe him a bit, say he's a farmer.
Lots of farmers here, love. And lots passing through.
Yeah.
Everyone in town, 70% of them aren't from here. I can't truly help you. Maybe look around the stables or down at the trade, the mercantile. They might be in town trading.
I'll take a look. Thank you very much.
Sorry.
It's okay. And Celia will go to the trading place first.
Okay, it is a little bit later in the evening, but you can do a perception check if you'd like.
I'll be there
Yeah,
giving
let's
some help.
do it.
Looking around for this.
Oh, thank you for the help.
The two of you sort of wander around and try to look and try to see if you see anyone. Doesn't seem to be much. There's a little bit of activity, some late night trading that's happening inside. There does seem to also be some activity down to the south, down towards the stables where people are, doing any last minute packing things up, down there in the sort of southern quarter of town.
We also may need to come to the conclusion, darling, that this person has already left town.
Better to be sure.
Where was his house again?
I didn't see him at his house. He was in town.
Oh. We'll keep an eye out for him tomorrow. But we should just try to stick to the annual plan. If we see him, we'll stop him. At this point, we're just gonna have to make do.
I have an idea. And I will write on a parchment. And I'm going to put lost metal friend, and then it kind of in itty bitty letters in Thieves' Cant. She's gonna put, I know you're here, find me.
Okay.
And the lost metal friend is gonna be in common, and then the I know you're here, find me will be in Thieves' Cant.
Okay. Yep, you're able to put that
Just
up. There's
gonna
actually
put it-
quite a big notice board there outside the mercantile of people trying to do trades or try to book passage on caravans. So there's a pretty good message board here.
Yep, and she'll hang it up.
Okay. It's now getting fairly late in the evening, probably around 8, 9 o'clock.
Yeah, so hopefully that works.
Okay.
I'll keep first watch tonight and get some rest.
Okay,
Just
so
can't be too careful.
Vidar, you can do a watch there in the Cloak and Fireball. If you can do me a perception check.
Alright.
Sort of outside the rooms and listening down the hallways.
Just skulking around, trying to act normal. 13.
On a 13, I mean, it's the Cloak and Fireball. There's people in and out, but there's no one who seems to like be, the fact anyone who might have been, wanting to come by your rooms or whatever, I mean, just pass by in the hallway. There's nothing much to see there. And you can swap out with Celia after 4 hours. And then, Celia, if you want to do me a perception check.
Yep. I didn't do much better. What is this?
Yep.
We got distracted for a while.
I was gonna say, look at these. Look at these nat ones, folks. This is scary. Yeah, you guys. I don't know if there's anyone around. They don't seem to be up in your hallway on the second floor near y'all's rooms. If there's anyone who is up to nefarious items, up to nefarious things. Deeds. There it is. That's the word I need. Morning comes. You all can get some breakfast. Luna knows that it's around 10:30 in the morning is sort of when Nathaniel sort of makes his rounds a bit. So tell me a little bit how this morning goes. Let's just start with Axel and Riley. How early do you all head out? What do you do? Mike.
Yeah. Okay. So he probably searched out the horses yesterday and said I will probably even paid for them just to be held and we'll pick them up tomorrow. So he'll probably just make sure that they're all ready to go, settled up and such for the plan sometime in the morning after having breakfast. already done the shopping the other day. And yeah, he would really just sort of make sure that he's in distance of wherever, within like a mile or wherever they were planning to have this distraction.
Okay.
So that they can easily communicate.
Okay, yeah.
Do you need me to do in like spellcastings? I'll leave Gonray with you, and of course you can ask Gonray, and if it's like some spells I can cast through Gonray. So I might be able to help even if I'm, watching over Riley. And I have all the runes ready as well, so we can get going as fast as possible and finish.
Okay. So you leave behind Gonry. I think there is a distance.
I'm trying to find that, yeah.
But you can leave him behind. I think that communication, I just think the spellcasting has a range on it. But regardless.
100 feet.
There you go. So, unless you stay really close, you'd still be inside town within 100 feet. So, but, so you and Riley can.
So I can't.
Yeah, head out of town. And start going to a place where Luna has marked on the map to meet up.
Yeah.
3/4 of a mile sort of outside of the perimeter, but within a mile of where she is going to be, and also where Florian's house is. So, Luna, Luck, where are y'all going to head to go do this mess?
Yeah, I'm trying to remember, because the center of town was mentioned, and then the edge of town was mentioned.
Yeah.
I'm thinking probably close to the edge of town is better. Partially because the center of town is probably just super crowded and not going to be able to have a lot of moving around room. So I think closer to the edge, and then you will sort of trickle down, hopefully.
Yeah, and if we need to bolt, we've got the tree line that we can bolt towards.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So there are 4 gates, sort of shaped like an X, Sojourn's Crossing, with the roads that come through it. So which one are you going to? Florian's house is sort of in the middle of the northern quadrant, sort of what would be between the 2 top legs of the X. So and then the bottom ones are sort of where all the barns and blacksmiths and that thing. And of course, this Cloak and Fireball's right there in the center, around that center pond that the city is built around. So sort of which one are you thinking to go to?
If we do it to the northern one, then that's the closest one, so that'll be the most immediate response. If we go to, I think, the southern one, which is the opposite side, it's a longer trip for a lot of them.
Mm-hmm.
So it could buy them more time.
Valid. It seems that time seems to be our most common restraint, so perhaps we should go towards the southern.
Okay, so southeastern corner would be the one that's closest to sort of heading to the Vice. There are wagons and stuff coming in that way. Southwest is a lot of people flowing out down the road to High Mount. So
one closest to the Vice.
Closest to the Vice.
Yeah.
So by the southeastern gate. Okay, so you guys head that direction. Cilia, Vidar, how would you like to prepare to get ready to this morning?
I borrow Vidar's mask.
Oh, to look from above? Okay.
Yep, so I can keep an eye on what's going on.
Okay.
So we have
Wanda.
We have the potion of haste. I have a potion of mind reading.
Mm-hmm. That would come in handy, actually.
Yeah, it would.
Oil of etherealness. I have an oil of etherealness.
What does it do again?
Oh.
Makes you
It makes you ethereal, and you can just walk through.
Hello. Hi. Can I join?
And most things don't pick up ethereal stuff.
Oh, it's been a while.
God damn it, and now we'll change all the plans.
Hey, look.
Yeah.
I'm happy with that. And
Oh,
I mean,
seven.
if you don't mind, like the mask for the oil of Ethereum, I can just hang back and just swap back and watch over as a ghost.
Yeah, I'm checking myself of what all whether it lasts. I mean, can you hop in and out of it, or is it like casting a spell?
I think it's a one use, but I mean it can get you in there, no worries.
Yeah, but once you're ethereal, can you actually? Because I know on Critical Role they sort of did it. They kind of did it wrong with the whole thing where he was falling through the earth and all that kind of weirdness. So I want to check it just because I'm not super familiar with it.
Under the effects of the etherealness spell,
it's okay. So it is the effects of the ethereal. That's how it reads.
Yeah. So you
can move in any direction, up or down. Every foot of movement costs an extra foot, so 15 feet.
I mean, it says for an hour. I don't know if you can just step out of it.
Duration up to 8 hours.
You step to the board.
You immediately, if you occupy the same space as the solid object, when the spell ends, you can immediately return.
Doesn't say anything about actually willingly ending the spell, which is the concern.
Well, it says until you end it. That's the thing.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But I think once you end it, yeah.
And once you end it, it's ended.
It's ended.
Yeah.
So yeah, it can last for up to 8 hours, but it's not that you can hop in back in and out multiple times.
The oil only does 1 hour.
Okay, so for 1 hour, So for 1 hour you can stay ethereal, and once you return to normal, you can't pop back to ethereal.
No.
Okay.
D&D when you remember that you have I've got that item and everything changes.
Okay.
Remember when Vice Searchers used to be the dangerous part of this campaign, and yet right now it is the safest part?
Oh yeah, scary. So.
But yeah, etherealness, if you need to get in anywhere, it does take 10 minutes to apply.
Oh, well, that's not too bad.
Yeah,
it's not too bad if you have it. If you're prepared.
So so you have 10 minutes. You apply it for 10 minutes. So So are we back at the drawing board, or are some of this plan still staying in place?
No, plan still stays in place. If Vidar has oil of etherealness, he can apply it while Celia is doing the chat ups, and then just follow ghost style behind it too, if that works. And then once we have Celia inside, if we can get Celia inside, pops the body into the ring, and then as quick as possible, dimension door out of there.
So I'm just reading this again. You can see and hear the plane you originated from. Okay, that was just my big thing. Okay, so that you're... Okay, so... Gotcha. Okay, so you have the oil of etherealness.
Yeah.
So... Axel, Riley, out of town. Celia, Vidar. Luna and Luck, are you waiting for a cue, or are you going to do this?
Thought they were staying within range of us so they could.
They are. Yeah, they are. So you're waiting for a cue from Celia or Vidar.
Yes.
Gotcha. Okay.
For practical reasons, Luke's going to use the Hat of Disguise and disguise himself as, I think it was Barry, who's going with the name, the Orc.
Yeah, Barry the Orc.
Barry the Orc.
The code phrase is the Neverwings fly south for the Conclave.
That's a long code phrase, but okay.
Make it short.
Why are you making a code phrase?
Just say do it!
Because it's Vidar.
Yes, because it's
Everything
Vidar.
is about Netherwings.
Okay.
I'm not saying it was Netherwings.
So,
But
Axel, Riley, you guys are out of town. Luck, Luna, you are loitering around the southeastern gate. Celia, Vidar. Celia, you are heading into the marketplace to do your surprise ambush of Nathaniel.
Run into Nathaniel.
Okay. Vidar, are you ethereal at this point, or are you just hanging around?
I'm hanging around, keeping an eye out, in the shadows, getting ready to prepare this oil and put it on.
Gotcha. Okay, so Vidar, do me a stealth check.
Thank I'm going to use a bardic inspiration with this.
Okay. Donated inspiration is a D12.
Donated info, so thank you so much, chat.
Oof.
Oh my god, I'm going to need that.
Not bad, not bad. So on a 15, you do find a alley. You kind of have to. It's one of those weird things where a couple times you try to spot like a spot where you can literally lather yourself up for 10 minutes with oil, and people keep kind of like walking by. You're like, this is going to be, yeah, interesting. You're going to be a weird moon elf.
Put on a show.
Yeah. Greasing up for something.
I'm just gonna.
Don't look you lose. $10 to keep walking.
Yeah.
I write that on the side.
Yeah.
You look, you lose. 1 gold.
Gotcha. Cool. So, Axel, you guys are heading out. The north? Probably the north eastern gate to sort of swing around outside to wait outside. Type idea. Almost where you all left Kel way back. Almost that same meeting spot where he was outside and waited with the wagon, almost directly east of town. You, Axel, and Riley are heading out. Celia, Axel, do me a perception check, and Celia, do me a perception check as well.
Oh my gosh! That's 3 in a row.
You didn't sacrifice your goats.
That is 3 nat ones on 3 perception checks.
Not your day.
God. At least you didn't roll 5 ones on a horn. Those horn of summoning things. That happened yesterday.
Vidar has gone off into his alley to sort of slink around. Celia, you are sort of up the road a little bit, preparing your ambush. I need you to roll me a standby.
Oh god, that's terrifying.
Deck safe.
It's not.
Death save. I'm not saying it's never wings, but
I believe it's a Constitution saving throw.
Oh god.
rise in Constitution.
Ugh.
But why?
I'm not doing great today.
On a 9, as you stand over in the alleyway, you look down at your hand and you look out in there, and out of the corner of your eye, you see something.
Something.
It doesn't make sense what you're seeing. It takes you completely by surprise.
Almost like you nat one on a perception.
Like you nat one on a perception.
As the dagger goes deeper.
You see a white, ghostly blade in your own hand. And you see your forearm pull away out of your forearm as a ghostly arm emerges from your own arm. And with a swift strike, this ghostly obsidian dagger slits across your throat as you are surprised, and it has advantage. The ghost uses Death Strike against you.
Ow!
You take...
Oh, God. Oh, no.
Where's my calculator? Come on. Come on up.
Ow, this gonna hurt.
Unfortunately...
Yeah. It really gonna
That's
hurt.
a lot of damage. That's a lot of damage.
This does do a lot of damage.
As your throat is slit open, and you take 170 points of slashing damage.
I'm sorry, what?
And fall to the ground.
I'm dead outright.
Fall to the ground dead. Your last sight is a ghostly form sitting in front of you and goes, "When you take the oath and give your blood, you give it to me." And you see as a drow female figure, as your last breath escapes, slips into your body. And you feel yourself pick back up off the ground. Situate yourself. Wrap a scarf around your neck. And look for your next prey. And that's where we're going to end our session. Tree-hugging Druid, you and I have to have a conversation.
Yeah.
So you're bringing a druid, right?
I've been waiting for a Nat 1 when you were alone for literally 4 months. And I thought I had it back there on that perception, but Vidar was there and gave you advantage up there. And then the other time you were together. So yeah, we need to have a chat about who your next target is. Until then,
Yeah.
we will leave this session of the Vice, and it's going to get interesting really, really quick. Let's go around and meet our players. Dragons or cats?
One day, we'll get a plan done in one session. One day. Keep on hanging in there, Florian. We might get there. I'm Dragons and Cats. You can catch me at Dragons and Cats everywhere, especially on Monday nights for some underachievers D&D and some Wednesday night Dragons Brew, both at 7:30 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. Great session. Great to see you again. Great to see you all again. Mint. Good stuff. Cliffhangers, yo.
Templar Warden.
I am Templar Warden. You may find me anywhere on the internet as Templar Warden. You may also find me and everyone else on the Discord where we are all being murdered by a ghost. But you may find us all in the Discord. I will put that in chat. I thought I was suddenly going to cause something horrible to go wrong, and it was kind of like that, but not that horrible. Just losing Iska's mind is, yeah.
Hey. Yeah, I totally thought this was going to go a different way. I've been sitting... We'll see. Next up, Energy 9.
We'll see.
Hey, I'm Energy 9. My character's fine. Maybe I should have stayed at someplace. You can find me on Twitch at Energy9. Find me on Twitter, Energy98. Sometimes I do puns. Probably going to be a lot of snake pictures continuously. Yeah, you know, I think we're just gonna walk into the Vice. Like, it's easier at this point. Just walk in. It's fine.
Next up, Good Guy Pie.
You know, you go for a walk, you get your neck slit. Yeah, you know, So I'm Good Guy Pie. You can find me at Good Guy Pie on the Twitch, Too Good To Guy on the Twitter, and I have 94 HP and I'm built like a brick house. Bring it, assassin.
Next up, Tree Hugging Druid. We're about to have some fun with the rest of the party.
Yeah. Oh God, I'm so sorry in advance to everybody.
Kill your boyfriend
Oh
today.
God. Hi. I'm still dumbstruck. You can follow me on Twitter. I don't really tweet things, but I retweet when things are happening and. Fuck.
I am Tall Squall. Level 18 assassins. Scary. Very, very scary. Yeah, we will see next time as the ghost starts to live up to her name. And yeah, this... I was thinking this was going to happen later now. I kind of wanted to get this episode out, get this Florian heist underway. But like I said, literally 4 months I've been waiting. 4 months I've been waiting for the Nat 1 alone. Anyway, I am Tall Squall. Thanks for tuning in. Thank you so much for your donation, Kentucky Hawkeye, earlier. And we will see you all next week, hopefully with the whole cast. Because things are going to get pretty darn interesting. Until then, gather your friends together and tell a story, because that is what it is all about. You know what? Is Scrat still on? We're going to go raid Scrat. I thought he was finishing up. He must have gotten some more subs. So we're going to go do a raid of our buddy Scraticus.
Scraticus.
Yeah, we will see y'all next time. Have a good one. Bye-bye.
Hello.